Welcome to Gentle Yoga, guys. This is a really fun, easy, light practice. Um, take breaks as needed. The goal of this class is just to stretch and breathe into each posture and feel a little more relaxed when you. So let's begin in child's pose. So bring your big toes to your knees. Not looking for a intense inner thigh stretch. You can close your knees. I really like to start class in child's pose because it is a very, very grounding position, like forehead to mat, really humbles you. So just begin to breathe into your morning. We're looking for big, long, slow breaths here. Sending your breath to all parts of your body, specifically ones that might be feeling a little tight here. If you're looking for a little more, you can always spread your knees out even wider. Make sure your butt is close to your heels. From here, slowly crawl your fingertips forward. So both elbows are lifted off of the mat. Your shoulders are working a little bit. You're activating both arms. And then slowly crawl them to the top right corner of your mat to begin to stretch your upper body out a little bit. Hold it here, breathe into it. This is an active position. If you're not feeling much, crawl forward even more, a little more to the right. I'm already beginning to sweat a little here, actually. And you'll notice as we hold each posture that it will begin to feel a little easier, a little lighter. Just sending your breath to your shoulders, to your triceps, whatever is firing up here. And then crawl your fingers back to center and then crawl them to the left this time. Maybe you feel a stretch all the way up in your right side obliques, even from your hips, all the way up to your armpits, your arms. Can you crawl a little further? Can you sink your hips down even lower? Beautiful. Crawl them back to center and drop your elbows down, relaxing into child's pose one more time. And when you're ready, come onto your hands and just have this gentle seat at the top of your mat facing forward. Nice. We're going to do the same thing from a seated position. So slowly crawl your fingers forward, melting your neck and head, shoulders down. See how this adds a little bit of glute work here now that we're bending forward with our legs crossed. Maybe in these gentle movements, you close your eyes, just finding a gentle stretch here. It's not about how far you can get down to the ground, but rather how much sensation you can enjoy in the posture. And then slowly crawl your fingers to the right again. This time, I really feel this in my left side back, maybe a little bit obliques. Again, sending breath to where is needed. Can you sink a little lower now that we've been here for a few seconds? Make sure your facial muscles are relaxed, your neck is nice and gentle. And then crawl back to center to reset your spine, and then all the way to the left. This time your right side body is firing up. Breathing deeply here. Just a few more breaths, opening up our back, our glutes. One more breath. Nice. And then crawl back to center. Reset, take one more breath in center. And then come back up to seated here. Place your hands by your hips and try lifting your butt off the ground just ever so slightly. See how that feels. Your feet are still on the ground, but you're really rounding forward with your shoulders. Your hips are raised off the ground. And then lower them. And take a few of these just gentle hip raises. And as you do this, you really want to round forward using your abs and your arms to fire up into the postures. If you're looking for an additional movement, you can try lifting your legs off the ground too and holding it like that. This is not a total gentle yoga pose. So I'm going to do the gentle yoga version of just these light lifts to open up. And we need to begin to sweat a little bit to get into each posture a little deeply. Nice. Just take one more here. Beautiful. Then we're going to swing our legs around and you're come to stand on your knees. Inhale up to mountain pose on your knees and hold it here. Firing up from your glutes, engage your glutes, triceps rounded in, pinkies facing forward. We're going to try some pretty challenging back bends for here. So do them as you feel comfortable. I'm going to drop my right hand down behind me, looking to grab my ankle. If I can't grab my ankle or my foot, that's totally okay. And then I'm going to lift up my chest, engaging my glutes to avoid dumping into the lower back region and engage in this awesome back bend. With using my left hand to reach up and back to help me get there. Nice, you guys look so good. I know this is a pretty intense back bend for the beginning of class, but I love this so much. Deep breaths. And then slowly rolling back to stand, switch out your arms, come into the mountain, switching out, then drop your left hand down and slowly reach back behind you for that left heel or ankle or shin. And if you can't make it, that's totally okay. Just doing this back bend upright is also fine. Sending a lot of energy into our hips, into our core. Nice. Just a few breaths here. Open mouth breath here if it gets a little too challenging or a little too sweaty. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, rock forward to stand one more time on your knees. Trying for camel pose, both arms down behind you. Maybe you use really elongate your heart, open up your abdominals to the sky. Maybe even drop your neck behind you, looking toward the ceiling or the back wall. Just one more breath here. And then slowly come to have a seat on your knees, bringing your hands to your thighs or your knees and closing your eyes. Big heart opener to start class. So from there, let's do our 3-part breathing to really ground into our practice here. Again, if you're looking for the kind of toe stretches that we practiced last time, you can always come onto your toes now. I will come onto them now and then probably have to come off them in a minute because they fire up real quick. But from here, drop your shoulders down, engage your core ever so slightly. The 3-part breathing is on each inhale, we do it, or in exhale, we do it for 3 seconds in our lower core, kind of close to our bottom belly, 3 seconds in our middle core, kind of near our ribs, and 3 seconds in our upper chest. And then we hold it at 3 seconds at each point at the top and bottom of the breath. So I'll guide you through the first few together. So exhale any stale air left in your body, shake it out. Inhale from your lower belly for 3, 2, 1, middle belly for 3, 2, 1, upper chest for 3, 2, 1, hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, big exhale from the chest for 3, 2, 1, middle ribs, 3, 2, 1, lower belly, 3, 2, 1, hold the bottom, 3, 2, 1, big inhale from the lower belly for 3, 2, 1, ribs, 3, 2, 1, upper chest, 3, 2, 1, hold at the top, 3, 2, 1, big exhale from the chest, 3, 2, 1, middle body, 3, 2, 1, lower abs, 3, 2, 1, hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1, last breath all together. Inhale from the lower, 3, 2, 1, middle, 3, 2, 1, upper, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Begin to blink your eyes open. Welcome yourself back into your space. Welcome the light and the furniture all around you. Get reaccustomed to it. And then when you're ready, we'll take a few twists. Twist to the right, using your right arm behind you, using your left hand to guide your whole body to the right. I love these twists to start class because they're so juicy. My back cracks almost every single time. And then twist to the left. Ooh. Nice. Just a few breaths here, maybe looking back behind your left shoulder. Okay. Let's come to tabletop pose, get our wrist stretches done, and then we'll move on with class. Tabletop pose, stack your shoulders over your hips. Sorry, don't do that. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. If you have some wrist stretches in mind, you can go do that now, but I'll carry you through a kind of sequence of them that I love. So I move both my hands 90 degrees to the left and right, so they're facing the long edges of my mat, and I rotate left and right, just slowly saying hello to my wrists. In yoga, we spend a lot of time on our wrists, but don't often stretch them or give them the love that they need to help support us. If this feels really accessible to you, rotate 90 degrees one more time so your fingers are facing your knees, and then we rock vertically ever so gently here. Option 2, when you sit back closer to your heels, to lift your palms ever so slightly off the mat. See how that feels. Option to keep them on the mat and see how that feels. The goal here is just gentle mobility in the wrists. The last one is to flip your palms. So your palms are facing up and your fingertips are facing each other. And from here, I like to do little circles, both clockwise and counterclockwise. This is the most intense wrist stretch that we do. So option to skip it or go to one that you prefer. Again, these are just a series of suggestions that I like. And then flip your palms so we're in neutral tabletop. Bring your left hand to the center of your mat. Reach your right arm nice and high and hold it. So we're preparing for a shoulder stretch here. Right here, we're in this kind of simple twist posture, stacking our right arm above our left, really rotating to the right side wall. So our upper body is feeling this really magnificent twist. Maybe roll out the wrist here again. Can you twist even higher, look up further towards the ceiling, moving that right shoulder back even more, bumping that left hip back to the left. I was bumping mine to the right. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, slowly guide that right hand in between the left shoulder and feet, and then come to rest on that right shoulder. This is a nice, easy shoulder opener here for Kelly, who requested some shoulder work. So just enjoy the weight on your shoulders here. There are a few options to make this a balancing challenge. If you're looking for the challenge, maybe you straighten your back leg behind you. Maybe you straighten your left arm in front of you. Maybe you lift your back leg. That's really a fun challenge. These are all just options, or option to keep your knees exactly where they were and you just enjoy the shoulder stretch here. Nice. Replant the left hand in the center of the mat. Rewind here. Slowly come back to that simple twist. Inhaling the right arm nice and high. Exhale, bring the right hand to where the left hand was and switch it out. Lifting the left arm nice and high, nice and slow. Maybe roll out the wrists here. Can you move that shoulder further back to open up into the upper body? Now I'm bumping my hips to the left, so I'm going to try to counterbalance that by bumping my hips to the right, keeping them in line with my knees. This is a hard stuff. Make sure your shoulder is over your wrists. Keep moving back to the left. One more breath here. Biggest twist yet. Can you align your arms even more? Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, slowly guide that left hand through the space between your right arm and your right knee. Whatever you do with your right arm is totally up to you. If you're looking for the balance, maybe crawl your fingertips up to straighten your arm. Maybe you take the right leg straight this time and try lifting that just for fun. These are all just fun, goofy modifications that spice up our practice. They're all optional. The goal of this is to open up the shoulders a little bit, so prior nice. When you're ready, slowly plant the right arm back to the center of the mat, and then inhale that left arm nice and high. One last time, maybe roll out the wrist, and then come back to tabletop pose, taking a few cat-cows as you see fit. Inhaling up to cow, exhaling, rounding, looking down to cat. Just opening up our core, our back. Beautiful. Nice. From here, come to have a seat on your belly. So straighten your arms, relax your upper body over your mat. And we're gonna tee out our right arm. So my right arm is straight and on the mat. And we're gonna slowly roll to the right side, peeling open my left shoulder. So we're rolling onto our right shoulder. Left shoulder is nice and high, right arm is straight. And then maybe bring your left foot to the mat behind you, bending into that knee. So this is a really intense shoulder opener. One of my favorites, especially when my shoulders are feeling a little tight. Breathing in to our shoulder socket. Can you twist a little deeper now that you're feeling open? Always readjust. Breathing into the posture. And when you're ready, slowly roll back to center, straightening out your left arm this time. Keep rolling to the left side wall, slowly peeling open your right shoulder. Maybe the right foot comes back behind you to help open up into the posture. In these quiet moments of class, I invite you to bring an intention to your practice. Something beyond just the physicality of stretching and moving, but something mental, emotional. Are you here to gain a sense of contentment? Are you here to gain a sense of balance in your mind? And I invite you to hold on to that. And then slowly roll back onto your mat. Let's try for seal pose. So bring your toes to the outside edges of your mat. So you're kind of straddling your mat, bringing your arms kind of where your ribs are. Peel your upper body up facing the sky. This is a really intense back bend. So engage your core, engage your glutes here, again, to avoid dumping into the lower back. Maybe you close your eyes and just sit into it. Can you press even further into your palms? Opening your heart up to the light and to the room around you. This is a really beautiful posture to just hold, to just enjoy. Deep breaths here. I feel this in my hips most of all, and in my lower core. When you're ready, slowly body wave your body back down to the mat. This time, zip up your feet so they're touching. Your legs are zipped together. And try the same posture again, but this is cobra. It's like assisted cobra, using your arms again to lift you up. Again, engaging your core. Maybe even gaze towards the ceiling. Sending all of your love and your energy to the parts of your body that are feeling this the most. And then slowly body roll back down. Let's try that one more time, but without the hands. So release your hands from the mat and then lift up just from your chest. Maybe your fingertips are touching the mat, but maybe they completely are hovering over the mat. So you're just using your chest or your core power, your back power to lift you up here. Just for a few seconds. I know it's a huge difference when we don't use our arms, but we're activating different parts of our body when we do this. A few more seconds. I know this is hard stuff, but it feels really good. And then release your head, neck, and shoulders down. This time, tee out your right arm. So goal post out your right arm. So before we straightened our right arm, now we're gonna do the goal post like an L. And then we're gonna do the same rotations to the right side shoulder. So this gets a different part of our shoulder when our arms are like this rather than straight. This one's a little more challenging now that we add the kind of L posture with our arms. But we've opened up our shoulders enough that I think we're able to do it. Our chest, I mean. Nice, you guys look great. And then let's roll to the opposite side, this time creating an L with our left hand and rocking our right shoulders above our left. You should feel an amazing sense of release in that right arm or the left arm, the left chest, maybe a little bit of shoulders. Be gentle on yourself. This is the most extreme opener in this sequence. One more breath here. Nice. And then slowly roll back to center, planting your hands again by your ribs, lifting yourself up into upward facing dog. This is when our thighs, knees, all of our legs, our hips are off the ground. We're really engaging our core, shining our chest forward. This is probably the most active back bend in that sequence because our whole body is completely fired up. Take one big inhale here. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back and take your time to pedal it out. This is our first big leg movement. So say hello to your calves, to your heels. Taking it slow. When I say pedal it out, that means taking your dog for a walk, sending one heel high, one heel low. Nice. When you feel comfortable, find the stillness. And we'll take a few of these kind of funky down dog rotations and I'll carry you through that. So bend deeply into your knees, so much so that your chest can almost, if not touch, your thighs. So you're really pressing away from your palms, your triceps are fired up. The goal is to almost, if not touch, your chest or your ribs to your legs. This is the most extreme knee bending version of down facing dog. Now the next one is to completely straighten your legs and see how your chest kind of flies forward closer to your triceps. This is the other extreme. So your down dog should be in between the two extremes, but let's take a few rotations of both extremes here. So bend into your knees, press into your palms so your ribs touch your thighs, and then straighten the legs, straighten the arms to create this V shape. Again, on your own time, rock and roll back and forth between these two movements, really digging deep into your triceps. We won't be here for long. I promise I know this is a lot of arm work. We're here for 3. Find your neutral downward facing dog in 2. And 1. Find the neutral downward facing dog and see what that looks like for you. So knees bent ever so gently. Maybe your heels don't touch the ground, but that's totally fine. And then keeping your hands where they are, slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat, placing them right behind where your hands were for ragdoll pose. Take a deep, generous bend in your knees and relax your upper body over your lower body. This is probably our first lower back release, so have fun with it. Whatever you do with your hands is great. Sometimes I like to let them go limp and rock and roll on my mat. Sometimes I like to grab the hand to elbow grip to keep them steady. If you're looking for an upper body stretch, find a basket grip behind your neck and slowly pull your head towards your chest. So many great options here. Whichever one suits you is totally great. Just find a beautiful sensation in your hamstrings. That is the goal of this posture, to release some tension there as well as the lower back. Find stillness here if you weren't there already. If you took a basket grip or a elbow grip, switch it out to add balance to your practice. Maybe you begin to straighten your legs a little more. Maybe your chest comes closer to your thighs, keeping the pose active, not stagnant. Nice. Wherever you are, release your hands down to the mat. Bring your left hand to grab your right ankle, so it's a cross body stretch. And then we're opening up to the right side wall. So open up that right arm up to the ceiling, straightening it out. Maybe you bend a little into your left knee to make this happen. But this is a really intense twist to the right side wall, but it feels really good. Keep your knees as bent as needed to make this very accessible to you. Maybe you look up towards the ceiling to really open up into your arms. Just a few breaths here. And then slowly twist back to center, using your right hand now to grab your left ankle, opening up to the left side wall. Same thing goes here. Maybe you bend a little into the right knee to make this happen. You can make this as intense or as accessible as you need, just depending on the gravity of your twist. Nice. One more deep breath here, sending the energy to your back, to your spine. Feel it elongate from the root of your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. And then slowly release back down. Toe heel your feet together, either to touch or just a little more close. And then slowly rock and roll, slowly all the way up to stand. Mountain pose, bring your arms above your head. Shoulders down, triceps rounded in, lift your thighs off of your knees, engage your glutes and your core. This seems like a pretty stagnant pose, but it isn't. All of our body is working here. And then take a slight back bend, looking up, bringing your shoulders behind your ears, engaging your glutes again here for the back bend. Feel this all the way from your hips to your core to your arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Dive your upper body down to meet your lower body. Let's take a few of these sun salutations all together. So we inhale slowly, one vertebrae at a time, rise up to stand, opening your arms up to welcome the morning. Take the back bend, maybe your hands meet at prayer pose here. And then you dive forward, hands through heart center, slowly, slowly, slowly to forward fold, getting that hamstring stretch in. One big inhale, open your arms out to the side. Big, big, big opening. Catch the back bend, hands meet at the top. And then we exhale, forward fold, hands through heart center, slowly and smoothly dive down. Inhale, rise. And again, you can go on your own time or you can match with me. It really doesn't matter as long as you're matching your breath to your movement, making this as smooth, as consistent, and as good feeling as possible. Make these movements big, but also intentional. Nice. Take one more full rotation, root to rise, and meet me in mountain pose when you're ready. Mountain pose, shoulders down. Bend into your right leg and kick your right foot into your butt. Use your right hand to grab the right foot and just hold it there. This is a really fun, easy thigh stretch. See how much tension you can bring by kicking your thigh up a little higher or a little further back. Again, the left arm is still activated. You're still reaching up with the left arm while also kicking back with the right thigh. Gorgeous. Now, if you're looking for dancer's pose, which is the more extreme version of this posture. Try it, see what happens. Bring your hands to the inside of your foot if they were on the outside. Bend gently into your standing leg and then hinge forward ever so gently, kicking into that left or right thigh. So you're rising your right thigh a little higher here, keeping the chest nice and high. You don't want, this isn't about how high you can get your leg, or rather how beautiful of a back bend you can get on this side. Holding this for as long as you can. If you need to come out of it or go back to that kind of more neutral thigh stretch, that's totally up to you. Every day is a little different, every body's a little different. But right now we're just engaging our thigh. That's the goal of this practice today. Nice. One more breath here, and dancers, can you kick up even higher? Last one. And then release the hand to foot grip, shake it out. Maybe do a little dance, see how the right leg is feeling a little different than the left now. We're gonna do the same thing on the left. So inhale your arms up nice and high, bend into the left knee, reach back behind you, grab that left foot, and just slowly pull on that left thigh. This in itself is a balancing posture. Anytime we're just on one leg, it's a balancing posture. And we're taking this in this kind of sequential order, so we open up into our thigh even more before we jump into dancer's pose. Again, always option to stay in this posture. Whenever you're in a balancing pose, it's nice to bend gently into your standing leg, otherwise you lock the knee and that isn't great. So same options go here, option to stay in this beautiful thigh stretch, or option to come to dancers with me. So slowly bring your hand to the inside of your foot if it wasn't there already, and slowly hinge forward, kicking that thigh up to the sky, engaging that entire leg. Feel this amazing back bend here. Again, if you fall out, that's totally okay. I like to find one space on the floor or the wall in front of me that doesn't move, that I can just stare at with my eyes. That's called the drishti. It's a really great way to focus your mind, which then in turn focuses your body. Nice. We're here for just a few more seconds. I know we're doing a lot of back bends, heart openers here. It's really important to try to engage your glutes during this time. I know I'll keep calling that, but it's a really good safety precaution for your lower back. Kick 1 inch higher here, last second, last breath. Inhale, and then exhale, release slowly, bringing your thigh or foot back down. Shake it out. Nice. Find a basket grip behind your lower back, puff up your chest, and then maybe move your hands a few inches away from your lower body. From here, sit into chair pose. Chair pose means engaging or bending into your knees, engaging your core to avoid the duck butt. You don't want a curved spine, but even more of a rounded spine forward. Look down. Can you see your toes? If not, move more of your weight into your heels. Meanwhile, we're still engaging these kind of goofy arms behind us. If the arms don't suit you, option to come into the more traditional chair by bringing your arms in front of you in a kind of mountain-esque way. I like to hold this pose because it activates a lot of different things. It activates the shoulders with the arm basket grip. It activates the thighs. Can you sit a little lower here? If the balance is off, option to take a wider stance to avoid or to get less of a balance challenge and just more of activating the thighs. Inhale here for a few seconds. Maybe open mouth breaths whenever you get a little too overheated. Take one big inhale all together here. And then exhale, keeping the hands exactly where they are. Dive forward, straightening out the legs into the forward fold with the arm grip. Wherever you are, release your neck down. Maybe this allows you to move your arms even further back behind you to engage even a more intense shoulder opener. Breathing deeply. Again, if the balance is feeling a little funky, take a wider stance. Just for a few more seconds. Can you bring your arms up even more? Can you bring your chest closer to your thighs? Relaxing into your facial muscles, into your neck. And then when you're ready, slowly release the basket grip, swan diving your arms down, bending into your knees, plant the palms, step back into high plank. Take your chaturanga, so bending into your arms, inhaling up to upward facing dog. We've been here before. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Your second down dog of class. So again, take a few seconds to reacquaint yourself with your shins or your calves. Play around with it. Take deep belly breaths to release some of the energy that we just built up. Be active with it. Have fun with it. Your body is a miracle. I'm not kidding. It sounds so cheesy, but the fact that you can do this on your practice every day is amazing. Beautiful. Find stillness if you didn't already. Bring your feet together to touch at the center of your mat, toes to touch. I like to do this because before we lift up into three-legged dog, because it acts more as a tripod stand with our legs. If we lift it up with our legs further apart, we would be really off balance. So I like to bring my feet together to touch first. Then we inhale our right leg nice and high, open, bend, and stretch the knee. So we get this beautiful hip opener. Maybe you take gentle circles with the knee. Maybe you just hold it in this stagnant posture, opening up into your inner left thigh, opening up into your right thigh, right hip. Nice. And then slowly hinge forward, bringing the knee to your nose and placing the foot in between the hands in this low lunge posture. From here, hold it for a second. From here, twist to the right. So plant the left hand down on the mat, twisting our right arm up to the sky. So you've done a whole bunch of these twists, so this should feel a lot more accessible to you than your first twist of class. This should also activate your right side glute. Breathing deeply here. Option to come down onto your back knee to just focus on the twist. If you want to keep the activated version, keep off of the left knee. So many beautiful versions here. A few more breaths. Nice. Let's drop the back knee. Uncurl the back toes and then rise up, keeping the twist, but rising up to stand. So you're twisting to the right side wall, like opening up like a hug to the right side wall. If you want, again, the more activated version, you can come off of the left knee again. But the goal here is to try balancing in this twisting position, holding it for just a few seconds. And then slowly drop the right hand down to meet the left thigh, the back of the left thigh, and reaching up with the left hand, sinking nice and low into your hips here, maybe moving the front foot a few inches forward so you can do so. You should feel an amazing hip opener here, maybe all the way up from your hip, all the way up to your core and your armpit. Again, these kind of pathways of energy, trace them so you can kind of get a sense for where your breath should be going, where the energy should be going. We often do this pose with the opposite hand low, but let's try it here for now and see how that feels. Can you sink even lower? Nice. Slowly cartwheel your arms down to the mat, straightening out your right leg for half splits. Peel the right toes off the ground, flex the foot, and just dive forward over the right leg. Holding it here, releasing the neck muscles, maybe closing your eyes. And just find kind of meditative stillness here. Connecting back to your practice, to your purpose. Can you sink your lower belly even closer to your thighs? Beautiful. Big movement here. I don't even know if this counts as gentle yoga, so I appreciate your feedback at the end of class. We're gonna bend into the right leg and kick up into standing splits so our left leg is nice and high towards the sky. This is another intense hamstring opener. Breathe deeply here. This is a challenging posture. If you're looking for an added balancing posture, an added challenge, bring your hands to your heart or maybe even grab your shin or your ankle. But I'm going to keep my hands on the mat, releasing my neck towards my ankles. Another beautiful option here. Slowly bend into the left knee, bringing the foot closer to the glute. Reach back behind you with the left arm, grab the foot, and again engage in that thigh opening stretch that we had earlier in our standing postures. This is a real challenge, so feel free to take whatever version of this you would like. There is no right answer, of course. But this is really a beautiful hip opener. Thigh stretch, even hamstring stretch on the right side. Relax the neck, the face. Breathe deeply. This is the last posture on this side, so relish in it. And then whenever you're ready, slowly release the hand to foot grip and bring the left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat in forward fold. Plant your palms, step back into high plank, your version of chaturanga, maybe in downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Maybe it's through the traditional up dog to down dog, or maybe not. Pedal out your legs, see how the right leg is a little lighter than the left, and that's okay. We're about to balance it out. Bring the feet together to touch at the center of the mat. Lift the left leg nice and high this time. Open, bend, and stretch the left foot and the left knee. Maybe you take the circles to open up into the hip. Maybe you just stay stagnant. This is a tough posture too, but we're breathing deeply into it, engaging our hips. Beautiful. One more deep breath here. Can you get even wider in your stance? Inhale. Slowly round forward, hinging your knee closer to your nose, and then plant the foot down, opening up into the simple twist. Left arm rises this time. Same options with the back knee. Option to drop the back knee and curl the toes back under, or option to keep the more activated version, really getting into the left side glutes this time. Breathing deeply. Maybe you look up to your hands. Nice. You guys look fabulous. So lovely to see so many of you on camera. New faces. Just a few breaths here. If you weren't on your knee already, drop the left or the right knee back down, uncurl the toes, and slowly, gently, with control, rise up to give the bear hug to your left side wall this time, keeping the left arm back, right arm forward. This is a tough balancing posture for your legs. That's okay. See how it feels like to balance here. Can you move the left arm even further back? Maybe you even look behind you to engage it. And then when you're ready, tick-tock even more. So your left arm drops behind your right thigh, your right arm reaches up. And sink even lower into the posture here, engaging the glutes further. Maybe you again look up. I always like to look at the direction that I want my body to be going. The eyes can signal a lot to the body, but maybe you like to ground yourself on the floor somewhere with your eyes too. Both are really awesome choices. Breathing deeply here. I know these are really intense stretches. This is more like a slightly sweaty, gentle yoga, but it still feels great. And then from here, tick-tock your arms forward, straightening your left leg this time for half splits, flexing the left toes to activate the entire left leg. Melting forward over the left hamstring, Relaxing your neck down. Again, this is not about how close you can get your chest to your thighs. I feel the same stretch from here as I do down here. As long as my lower core is close to my thighs, that's all that matters. The upper body has little to do with what's going on in my hamstring right now. Just send your breath where necessary. Preparing for a big jump here. Again, you're so welcome to stay here in a more calming posture, but if you're looking for the standing splits, which is the more intense version of this, slowly bend into the left leg this time, kicking your right leg nice and high off the ground, relaxing your upper body over your left thigh. Can you kick the right leg even higher this time? This opens up my hip a lot. This is a fun balance practice. Maybe you use one hand or both to grab onto your ankle or your shin, or maybe bring them to heart center for an added balance challenge. I'm going to stay right where we are. And then slowly bend into the back knee, reaching with your right arm behind you to grab the right ankle or the right foot. And then using that kind of same tricep opening movement we've practiced before, thigh opening thing, not tricep, open up into your right thigh. Again, we're holding this for just a few seconds. Open mouth breaths here. I know even just some stretching postures can be really challenging. People say stretching is passive. It's really not. This is a stretching posture and it's really, really active. So take breaks as needed. We're here for one more deep breath. Can you kick your leg even higher? And then slowly release the hand to foot grip, slowly pendulum swinging your right leg to meet the left at the top in your forward folds. And then plant the palms, step back into your last chaturanga of class. Meet me in down dog, however you want to get there. Oh, take one big cleansing breath together as a class. Inhale through your nose, get nice and long. Open mouth, exhale. Sink into your mat, get nice and low. Then when you're ready, come onto your knees and kick your back to center, preparing for this kind of bridge pose. Slowly coming down onto your back, keeping the knees bent, heels close to your butt. Nice. From here, grab both knees and hug them close to your chest. And using your hands, grab for the outer or inner, but I prefer the outer sides of our feet for happy baby, rocking left and right, massaging out our lower core, our lower back, keeping the legs nice and wide to keep opening up into those hips. Maybe you straighten one leg, maybe straighten the other. See how mobile you are now after 45 minutes of wonderful yoga. Beautiful. From here, release the hand to foot grip, hug both knees in, extend the right leg long, supine twist to the right, use your right hand to guide the left knee to the right, your back might crack. This is the last spinal twist, the last cleansing posture of class. Can you bring your shoulder to the mat and then just slowly guide the knee closer to the ground? And then we'll switch it out. Come back to center, hug both knees in. Again, extend the left leg long, planting the right shoulder on the ground. Slowly guide the left or the right knee to the left. Twisting a little deeper. At this point in class, you can close your eyes. We've made it. This is the last working posture of class. And slowly guide both knees back to center. Hug them in for one final squeeze. Maybe wrap your arms around your shins, bring your forehead to your knees. Take one big inhale here, getting nice and small. Take up even more air, even more. And then open mouth, exhale, Shavasana. Extend your legs and arms nice and long. Maybe shimmy your shoulders underneath your heart to give it a little bit of a cushion. Closing your eyes, relaxing any muscles you're holding tension in your face, your cheeks, your jaw, your tongue, your temples, and sink into the mat. This is such a beautiful posture to relish in your practice in. I went a little bit over on on class time. So I'm actually going to seal you off from here in Shavasana. From here, bring your hands to your heart center in prayer pose. I want to thank you all for being here with me for the past 47, 50 minutes and enjoying in this really beautiful practice together. Bring your hands to your third eye center, the space between your eyebrows, and we say namaste. Yay.